Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video, I'm going to make some peanut butter cookies, optionally with some chocolate chips. Pre-keto, I really enjoyed baking. Flour and sugar are two very easy ingredients to work with. They are consistent, they are predictable. However, keto baking has been a source of frustration for me. It's not all that easy, and generally I prefer to leave the keto baking to some of the other channels, but I was playing around with an idea for some peanut butter cookies, or maybe peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, depending on if you want to add the chocolate chips, and it turned out all right. Now, if you count total carbs, this recipe probably isn't going to be for you. Just the plain peanut butter cookies, you're looking at 7 grams total carbs per cookie. For the version with the chocolate chips, it's 9 total grams per cookie. However, for either of them, it's 2 grams net. I will include a link down below in the description to the printable recipe along with all of the macronutrients. And in terms of calculating those macronutrients, this was done using the specific brands and ingredients that I used. If you make any substitutions, this number could go up, it could go down. But with that out of the way, let's make some cookies. While I prepare the batter, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And for my first ingredient, I have 1/2 cup or 115 grams of full-fat cottage cheese. We want to make sure that we really blend or process this cottage cheese nice and smooth before adding our other ingredients, because we don't want a bunch of little chunks of cottage cheese or little curds floating around in our cookie. I'm going to scrape down the sides, then add 1 large egg, 1/2 cup of brown sweetener, that's 95 grams. I'm using the Truvia Sweet Complete brand. You can use whatever brand you'd like. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then process or blend until pretty much smooth. We want to do this before we add our peanut butter because that's going to be a little taxing on the motor here. Once again, I scrape down the sides and then add the peanut butter, 2/3 of a cup or 180 grams. And if you're interested in this variable measuring cup, I will include a link to that down in the description below. Process until fully combined. And then what I like to do is transfer the batter to a rounded bowl. It just makes portioning out so much easier. It's a lot easier to get a scoop in on something round than something with flat edges. Now at this point, you can optionally add 1/4 cup or 50 grams of chocolate chips. I'm using Chalk Zero. You can use whatever brand you'd like, Lily's, Bake Believe, but fold that into your batter, and then we'll portion out our cookies. I'm using a number 50 disher, which is basically like a heaping tablespoon, but it's a lot easier to use. I'll include a link to this down in the description below. Wonderful for making uniform cookies or crackers. And you'll probably find that you get between 18 and 20 in total. I wound up with 19, not enough left in the bowl for number 20. I'll put these into my preheated oven and let them cook for 15 to 17 minutes. And here they are. They're looking all big and puffy. Now as these cool over the course of the next 5 or 10 minutes, that puffiness is going to go away and they're going to firm up enough that I can use a spatula to remove them from the parchment paper. And then transfer them to a wire rack just so they can firm up a little bit more before I eat them. So this cookie has been sitting out on a wire rack at room temp for about a half an hour. Let's give it a taste. It's soft, it's moist, it's peanut buttery, and it's not too sweet. Since being keto, my tolerance for sweets is fairly low, and for me, this is pretty much dead on perfect. If, however, you make it and you find it's not as sweet as you'd like, you can certainly up the sweetener. So there you go, me getting a little bit out of my comfort zone and doing some keto baking. I'm sure next week I'll get back to doing something savory. But that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please click that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, tap that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. Also, down in the description below is a link to the Serious Keto newsletter. I would love to have you as a subscriber. There's no spam. I'll never sell your email address to anybody. Just good info on the channel once a week. So check it out, and thanks for watching.